Don is trying to decide which mortgage is a better deal. His dream house is $250,000 and the down payment is 12% of the price of the house. So we then are going to figure the information on each of the two mortgages, A and B. Mortgage A is 5.5% for 30 years and mortgage B is 5.5% for 15 years. Now, before we can really figure out the monthly payment and all that other business, we've got to figure out how much money Don is borrowing. Now, if the down payment is 12% of the price of the house, well, 12% is 0.12, and we're going to multiply that by 250,000. There's the down payment. Right? We're going to turn that into money. I hit the dollar sign. So Don's going to have a $30,000 down payment. So how much is he going to borrow? Well, he's going to borrow, equal sign, 250,000 minus 30,000. He's going to borrow $220,000. Okay, so that's the first piece. That's the number we're going to need in our formula. I'm going to start with mortgage A. So to find the monthly payment, we are going to use the PMT function because it calculates the payment, right? We need the payment. So when I hit the PMT, it starts with the rate. Well, the rate is 5.5%, so 0.055, but you're making monthly payments. So we've got to divide that by 12 because the interest rate is generally given as an APR or an annual percentage rate. So the percent divided by 12, comma. In the middle, we're going to have how many payments are being made. Well, you're making 12 payments a year times, in this case, 30 years. And the last piece is, how much are you borrowing? Well, I'm borrowing $220,000. And notice I made that negative because that's the money, right? I'm giving that money away. I'm going to be in debt. Okay, so I hit enter, and the monthly payment is going to be $1,249.14. Now, to figure out the total interest, we kind of have to do a little bit more math. We've got to figure out, well, how much are you going to pay total? So let's think about this. Total pay, question mark? Well, if I'm paying $1,249.14, and I'm just going to click on that to make it a cell reference, just to make my life easier. I'm paying that every month. So that's times 12 months in 1 year, and I'm paying that for 30 years. So that tells me I am paying a total of $449,688.89. Well, I only borrowed at $220,000. So to find the total interest, the total amount that I paid minus the amount that I borrowed, and I know I'm using cell references, so you got to kind of keep track of the colors here, but the total paid minus how much you borrowed, what's left is the interest. So I borrowed $220,000, but I'm paying more than that just in interest. So with this mortgage part A, you're actually paying more than double what you borrowed for this house, which is really depressing when you think about it. Now, let's look, same interest rate, but for 15 years. Let's go to part B. So we're doing it the same way. We're still trying to find the PMT function. So my rate is the same, 0.055 divided by 12. In the middle now, I'm doing 12 months in a year times, I'm only going 15 years this time, right? Not 30, just 15. And then I'm still borrowing $220,000. That hasn't changed. Notice my monthly payment is quite a bit more, $500 more. Well, that should make sense. You're paying your house off in half the time, right? 30 years compared to 15. So let's once again, total pay. Because in order to find the interest, we got to figure out how much we're paying total. So my monthly payment, I'm multiplying by 12 months in a year, and I'm doing that for 15 years. So in mortgage part B, my total payment is only $323,000. Now that's still a big number, but it's not nearly as big as what it was for our 30-year mortgage. So to find our total interest, how much I paid minus how much I borrowed. Because the difference between what you actually paid back and what you borrowed is the interest. So in this case, my interest in the second one is $103,565.05. So you can see if you can afford the monthly payment of an extra $500 a month, you're going to save yourself more than $100,000 in interest, which over the course of 15 years is a lot of money. But that's the difference. So a shorter mortgage results in a higher monthly payment, but in the long run, you're actually going to save a lot more money. So really, mortgage B is the better deal if you can afford it.